One of the reasons why linking and embedding works so well within MongoDB is because MongoDB supports multi-key indexes. I want to talk a little bit about multi-key indexes and why they're useful within MongoDB schema. So earlier we talked about a students and teachers arrangement where there's a many-to-many relationship between students and teachers, where a student has multiple teachers and a teacher has multiple students. And one of the ways we talked about modeling it was having a students collection where we have an underscore ID for each student and a name for each student, and a teachers collection where we have an underscore ID for each teacher and a name for each teacher. And then we link these two across by having a teachers array in the students collection right here, this teachers array. And in this teachers array, we list out an array of all of the underscore IDs representing the teachers that the student has. Now, there are two obvious types of queries you might want to ask of these collections. And one is, tell me all of the teachers for a particular student. Now, that's pretty straightforward. I would just do a db.find into the students collection, and I would pull out the teachers array, and then I would have this array in my hand of all of these teachers. But it's a little bit less clear how you would find all the students that have a particular teacher. How would you find all of the students that have a particular teacher? So the way you would do that is you would search in the students collection using one of our set operators to find all of the documents where, let's say, this value and this value appeared. But you want that to be fast, and in order for that to be fast, there has to be an index on that. Now, we didn't talk much about indexes, and we're going to talk more about performance in a future unit, but it turns out that Mongo supports adding an index on the teacher's key. And when you index something that's an array, what you get is a multi-key index where Mongo actually indexes all of the values in the array for all the documents. So I want to show you how that looks in the Mongo shell and show you the database in action when it queries something that has a multi-key in it. So I'm in the Mongo shell right now, and I'm going to use the students collection. School collection. I've set up two collections. I've set up a students collection and a teachers collection, and they look pretty similar to what I just showed you on the whiteboard. So in the students collection, we've got 4 students: Andrew, Richard, Elliot, and Mark, and they have a teachers array indicating which teachers each of them has. And in the teachers collection, I've got the names of 4 teachers. These are actually Stanford professors that were there when I was there, and you can see which teachers each of these students has. If I would like to index and create a multi-key index in the teachers array, I can do that through this command, db.students.ensureIndex, specifying teachers. And we're going to get to indexes later, but I just want to show you this one. And once I do that, I can query and have it hit the index. So here's a query where I'm asking the students collection to find me all the student documents where the teachers array has both values 1 and 3 in it, which means I'm looking for people who had John Hennessy and James Plummer as teachers, and return those documents. If I do that, you can see I find out that Richard and Elliot both had teachers 1 and 3, which is John Hennessy and James Plummer. Now, did that use an index? Well, we can find that out by calling .explain at the end of the query. We haven't shown that, but we'll show it in a future unit. .explain shows you the query plan, and you can see right at the top it says cursor, B-tree cursor, teachers 1. That means that MongoDB did in fact use an index to perform this query. And the existence of these multi-key indexes is one of the reasons why embedding and linking works so well in MongoDB, because you can still do the types of queries you might expect to do in a relational database and do them fast.